Hello, and welcome to Simple Finance Bytes. I'm Ernest. Today we're talking about conditioned spending, and this one is a wake-up call. You think loyalty programs, reward cards, and subscription services are working for you? They're actually working on you. Today I'm going to show you exactly how that happens, what it looks like in your own life, and what you can do about it. Let's start with a simple question. When you signed up for that rewards credit card, who made the first move? You probably think you did. You heard about the sign-up bonus, you looked at the perks, you decided it made sense. It feels like a choice you made on your own terms. But here's what actually happened. A marketing team with a 9-figure budget spent years studying your spending patterns, your psychology, and your desire to feel like you're winning. They designed a product specifically to make you feel like you're getting something for nothing. And then they waited for you to find it. Sometimes you come across it on an ad on Instagram. A lot of times you'll find YouTube videos about credit card points and travel. That's not you making a free choice. That's you responding to conditioning. Conditioned spending is spending that has been engineered by someone else. It's not random. It's not natural. It's the result of corporations deliberately training you through habit loops, reward structures, and default settings to spend money in ways that benefit them far more than they benefit you. The reason this matters is that most people do not recognize it. They think they are making smart financial decisions. They think they're beating the system. They're not. They are the product. I'm not saying corporations are evil for doing this. Matter of fact, they're kind of amoral. Their entire purpose for existing is to make money. What I am saying is you need to understand what is happening so you can make actual choices instead of the choices that were designed for you. There are 3 main ways this conditioning works. 1 is loyalty programs. 2 is reward credit cards, especially the high annual fee travel cards. And 3 is subscriptions that auto-renew. Each one uses a slightly different mechanism, but they all lead to the same place. You end up spending more than you intended, more regularly than you intended, in ways that feel completely normal to you. Let's take them one at a time. Loyalty programs. The name is interesting when you think about it. Loyalty. As in the company wants your loyalty, not because they value the relationship, but because loyal customers spend more and are less likely to comparison shop. Loyalty with corporations is a one-way street. They are not loyal to you, but they want you to be loyal to them. Here's how it works. You join a loyalty program. Maybe it's a grocery store, a hotel chain, an airline, a coffee shop. You earn points on every purchase. Points feel like savings. Points feel like progress. Your brain registers them as a reward, and rewards feel good. But what the program actually does is change your behavior. Instead of choosing the best option or the best value available, you choose the option that earns you points. Instead of shopping around, you go back to the same place because your points are there. The company has successfully turned its own pricing into a psychological anchor for your decisions. And here's the kicker. Most loyalty points expire, devalue, or come with enough restrictions that a large percentage of them are never redeemed. The company gets your loyalty, you get a fraction of the value you thought you were accumulating. Now let's look at rewards credit cards, especially the high annual fee travel cards. This is the category where conditioned spending gets expensive fast. The pitch is straightforward. Pay a $500, $700, $800, or $900 annual fee, and in return, you get a coupon book worth $1,500 in credits or $2,000 in credits, airline lounge access, hotel credits, dining credits, streaming credits, airline fee credits, credits for credits, whatever the current iteration is. On paper, you come out ahead, but in practice, here's what actually happens. You look at that coupon book every month to make sure you're using your credits before they expire. Some people will even pay a monthly subscription for an app just to track these credits, so they're spending money to try to get their own money back because they gave an interest-free loan to the bank in that annual fee, and then they spend the rest of the year trying to claw their own money back to get a couple of % cash back or points on their purchases while that bank is loaning that money that they gave them out at 22% interest. So what does it look like? Well, you book a flight to use the airline credit. You go to a restaurant you would not have gone to otherwise to use the dining credit. I can tell you right now, I look inside the various credit cards at the places you can go eat. The restaurants are all terrible. They're all overpriced. So why would I go to a restaurant that's bad food and overpriced just to use a dining credit? Doesn't make any sense. The best food you're going to find is at a hole in the wall anyway that's cheaper and doesn't have any kind of random dining credits. Another one is you keep a streaming service you would have canceled because the card is quote unquote paying for it. Card is not paying for it. You already paid the annual fee. You prepaid that streaming service. You're getting your money back. Here's another one. You stay in a hotel chain you would not normally use because the hotel credit only works there. You have a Hilton credit card, you get a free night certificate, you end up staying at a more expensive Hilton for 2 or 3 days. You get one of those nights free versus staying at a cheaper Marriott down the street because you got one night quote unquote free. You ended up paying more in the long run anyway. These cards are designed to make you spend. Let me repeat that. These cards are designed to make you spend. Every single credit in that book is a trigger. The company's not giving you money. Banks are not in the habit of losing money. They're not in the habit of giving away money. Banks are in the habit of making money. They are purchasing your behavior. And the behavior they are purchasing is spending more in their partner network on a schedule they set. The Simple Finance position on these cards is clear. If you're choosing what to buy based on a credit, you're not in control of your spending. The card is. Let's talk about subscription auto-renew. This one, on the surface at least, is the most honest mechanism of the three because at least its purpose is obvious if you look directly at it. Auto-renew exists because companies know that most people will not actively cancel a service they are not using. Inertia is their business model. The $15 a month you keep paying for a streaming service you haven't opened in 3 months, it's not an accident. It's by design. The friction to cancel is higher than the friction to do nothing, and doing nothing is always the easier choice. In addition, I don't know if you all have tried, but I went through a purging about 1.5 years ago where I canceled nearly all of my subscriptions, and every single one of them made it difficult to cancel. You can sign up with one click on a website, but to cancel, you got to do 20, 30 clicks. You have to find a buried option somewhere to cancel. Some of them don't even let you cancel on the website. They want you to call in so that a rep can try to talk you out of it. We tried to deal with this at the government level, and it immediately got shot down because lobbyists prevent this from happening. So think about that. Auto-renew on subscriptions is a huge problem. Subscriptions are rent in another form. You pay every month, you get access to something, and if you stop paying, it goes away. There is no equity. There is no endpoint. There's no moment of ownership, just recurring extraction, a recurring drain on your bank account that happens every single month that you don't actively try to stop it. The difference between a mortgage and rent is that a mortgage ends and you own something. A subscription never ends and you own nothing. Every month you are starting from zero. So let's get practical. Conditioned spending does not feel like spending. That's the whole point. It feels like saving. It feels like smart shopping. It feels like you're winning. And here are the signs you're in it. You have a credit card with an annual fee and a coupon book, and you think about the credits regularly. You have a plan for using them. You have made purchases specifically to use them before they expired. That's a big one. I always see this being discussed on YouTube. How do you make sure you get all your credits? That way you have justified your annual fee. And a lot of them are pushing apps that help you figure all this out. So you pay a subscription on top of trying to get your own money back from the annual fee. That's insane. If any of that is true, the card is managing you, not the other way around. Another is you belong to 4 or more loyalty programs. You have points or miles sitting in accounts you check occasionally to see what they're worth. You have chosen a specific store, an airline, or a hotel because of your status or points balance rather than because it was the best option or the best value for that specific situation. This happens all the time. Somebody gets a Hyatt credit card, and so they will only look at Hyatts and not realize that the Hilton, the Marriott, the Holiday Inn Express, whatever, are cheaper and a better value. But because they have a Hyatt credit card and they have Hyatt points and they have a low-end Hyatt status, they choose to stay at the more expensive hotel. You're loyal to a company instead of to your own best interests. Another way is that you have subscriptions on auto renew that you've not actively used in the past 30 days. Not streaming services you watched something on last month. Services you have not actively chosen to use recently. If you had to cancel all your subscriptions today and then re-sign up only for the ones you genuinely want, how many would you re-sign up for? That last question is the most useful one you can ask yourself. The prepaid lifestyle is built on the idea that you buy what you can afford with cash outright. It doesn't necessarily mean you pay cash for it. You can use a credit card, debit card, doesn't matter. The point is, are you able to immediately pay that off? Do you have the cash in your bank account to buy whatever you're buying? If the answer is no, you don't buy it. There's a transaction. There's an endpoint. You own the thing. That is an active choice to spend money. A subscription is the opposite of that. It is a passive, ongoing commitment that continues until you actively stop it. The default state is spending. You have to opt out. And the companies know that most people never will. So here's what to do about all of this. Step 1 is to audit your subscriptions. Go to your bank statement and your credit card statement. Go back 60 days or 90 days. Write down every recurring charge, every single one. Streaming services, software, gym memberships, meal kits, new subscriptions, cloud storage, identity protection services, Amazon Prime, whatever. It doesn't matter. Everything. Everyone has a different mix of subscriptions. Now ask yourself one question about each one. If this charged me today and I saw it on my statement, would I be glad I have it? Not would you miss it if it were gone? Not is it theoretically useful? Would you be glad today that you're paying for it? Think about Marie Kondo. Does it bring you joy? Would you be happy to pay for it or not? If the answer is anything other than yes, cancel it. There are no exceptions for services that are a good deal. There are no exceptions for services where you might use it eventually. The question is whether you are glad you are paying for it today. If you're not, cancel it and replace it with a free alternative or do without. If you go to our website, simplefinancebytes.com, we have plenty of articles on free services like free streaming, free AI services, free travel portals, all kinds of free alternatives that don't require you to pay a subscription to get a benefit out of them. Subscriptions are passive wage extraction. Let me say that again. Subscriptions are passive wage extraction. That means that they are there taking away from you, taking out of your bank account every single month passively. Without you doing anything and without them doing anything, they're getting money out of you. Every month you are not actively choosing to subscribe is a month the company is taking money from you by default. Cancel everything you would not actively choose to keep. Then, if you decide you want something back, sign up again deliberately as an active choice and not by default. And don't use auto renew. One of the easiest ways to get around this is just buy a gift card. Buy a digital gift card for that service in just the amount needed for a month or a little over. Add the gift card to the balance. And when the gift card runs out, service auto cancels itself. That's how you get ahead on that game. Step 2, evaluate your rewards cards. If you have a card with an annual fee, do this right now. Add up every credit you used in the past 12 months, not the credits available to you, the credits you actually used. Subtract the annual fee. That is your real net benefit. Now, here's the kicker. Ask yourself, did any of those credits cause you to spend money you would not have spent otherwise? Did you go to a specific restaurant just to use a dining credit so you would get it? Did you add money to an airline travel bank just so that you could use a credit? Did you go to a retail store that you normally wouldn't go to and either get a gift card or buy some chinchy thing just to use a credit? If the answer is yes, you need to subtract that spending too because it was not a benefit. It was the card's return on investment in you. Let me phrase that another way. It wasn't a benefit to you, even though you think it was. It was the bank's return on investment by getting that card in your hands. If the math still works out in your favor, fine, keep the card. But if you're spending to justify an annual fee or changing your behavior to capture credits, you're not winning. You are spending more than you would have otherwise because the card was designed to make you do exactly that. Step 3, and probably the most important, is to be intentional about what you buy. Because if you think about it, this actually impacts everything else. This is the simplest one and the hardest one. Before any purchase, ask, is this something I am buying because I want it and I can afford it outright? Or is this something I am buying because of a credit, a points opportunity, a members only sale, or a subscription I'm trying to justify? If it's the second one, put it down. The prepaid lifestyle is not about deprivation. I'm not saying not to buy anything. I'm saying you can buy whatever you want as long as you can afford to buy it cash outright. Buy the thing you want, pay for it once, own it, and move on. That is a transaction with a beginning and an end. It's an active choice. A subscription has no end. A loyalty point has no owner and no actual value. A credit card rewards program has no beneficiary except the bank. The goal of all these systems is to keep you in a relationship with a company that costs you more than it gives you. So here's the key takeaway from today. Conditioned spending is spending that someone else designed. Loyalty programs, rewards credit cards with coupon books, and subscription auto-renew are all systems built to extract money from you on a schedule that benefits the company, not you. They work because they feel like saving. They feel like winning. They feel like smart choices. That's not an accident. That's the design. The wake-up call is this. Most of what you think of as normal financial behavior was not invented for your benefit. It was invented for theirs. The moment you see that clearly, you can start making actual choices. Cancel the subscriptions you do not actively choose to keep. Subscriptions are just rent in another form. Pay once, own it, move on. And a quick note, everything in this episode is financial education, not financial advice. See the full disclaimer in the show notes before making any financial decisions. If this episode hit home, subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts, or wherever you listen, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. For more Simple Finance strategies, visit our website, simplefinancebytes.com. Also, join our monthly newsletter for exclusive money-saving tips plus your free Simple Finance blueprint. Link will be in the show notes. And connect with us on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook. Again, all the links are in the show notes. One last thing before we wrap up. As a tech guy, I have to remind you, enable two-factor authentication on your email and your banking accounts right now if you've not done it. It's a 5-minute task that protects everything you are working to build. Until next time, keep it simple, stay focused, and take control of your financial future.